Hey guys, we're back with a Iron Banner critique video because Bungie has still neglected to update how these weapons drop, how you get them. Although at least we don't have a multi-mock situation this time because you can get this stasis sidearm to drop from just ranking up with Lord Saladbar. Although the drop that you get from ranking up isn't the one that you will be looking for, at least in terms of, chill clip and whatnot. Now, the reason I'm gonna flame how Iron Banner works is because Glimmer is such a finite resource, and you use it for everything now. As much as, a more casual player might not realize, you use it for focusing certain engrams, use it for purchasing upgrade materials, you use it for everything imaginable because legendary shards don't exist anymore. Now, because that's the case, whenever you have to focus a weapon with Saladbar, you are going to use 25,000 Glimmer. That means for every 100,000 Glimmer you have, you can focus 4 of these sidearms. Now, the Glimmer cap is 500,000, which allows you to focus a grand total of 20 sidearms every time you hit the cap. Now, I can tell you I've definitely focused a lot more than 20, and I've yet to still get that coveted air trigger chill clip. Now, I've gotten pretty close, and I'm probably going to end up just settling with the loose change chill clip one that I've got so far. But here's something that should annoy you, and really just please update this, Bungie. There's this thing with Lord Shax, where each new season, the weapon that is new, you don't have to use Glimmer to focus it. And of course, that would be the Anonymous Autumn. This season, you can see weapons from the past. It only takes about 5,000 Glimmer to focus these weapons. That would be like an okay thing to do because you're going to focus a lot of the newer weapon to try and get your desired roll. Once the season is over, you don't have to grind for it anymore, and if you for some reason want to get a different roll or a new one, then you can go and focus it for 3 engrams and 5,000 Glimmer. And one of my favorite things about these vendors now is that if you focus a weapon after you've ranked up in a season with the vendor, you're going to get multiple selections. So say like this was a sidearm and I got, reverberation and air trigger in this first slot. I wouldn't be able to get that if I only had the one rank up. But essentially what this does is it rewards your time invested in that activity. And that's something that is sorely missing from Iron Banner and loot from Saladin in general. See, with crafting, that's a great example of investment and getting rewarded for that investment. Because you eventually get your 5 red borders, boom, after some investment either through resources or time and leveling up that weapon, you will be able to make the enhanced god roll of that weapon. For people who maybe prefer chasing weapons, a good example for you would be going and doing a master raid, but since you're not guaranteed to get that roll that you want on that adept weapon, you might have to do it over and over again. But the investment is that you beat that encounter and you have the gratification of beating that very difficult encounter and chasing that reward. With Iron Banner, though, it's kind of like banging your head against a wall. Because you're going to get engrams to drop pretty consistently. You're going to always get more Glimmer. But the problem is, you're not guaranteed to get a fantastic roll. You can't attune in any way, shape, or form. And when you focus, like I said, you can only focus up to 20 sidearms per Glimmer cap you reach, which capping out your Glimmer isn't as easy as it used to be, and it takes a lot longer, especially if you spend a lot. Now, that being said, am I just complaining? Yes, I am. But like I said with both Lord Shax and Zavala, there are ways to essentially have safety nets, right? You have multiple perk selections once you rank up, or for the newest weapon that has come out, it doesn't force you to use Glimmer, as well as just 1 engram as opposed to 3 or 4, which is definitely something that they could incorporate with this, right? And attunement is also something that works for Into the Light weapons, and of course now with the exotic class item, and that would at least be something as well. Even if it was just attuning one of the perk slots, like the 3rd or the 4th, people would still take that, right? Because at least you have eliminated one perk from being many other perks, right? So I don't think this is a crazy thing to think about. I do remember when Multi-Mock came out, it wasn't in the rank up rewards for Saladin, and you kind of just had to play and hope you would get it to drop, but that was a whole other can of worms back then, and it's great that we can even focus these weapons now. But just because you have an inch doesn't mean you shouldn't ask for a mile and have a little bit more agency with these weapons and getting at least a higher chance with them, dropping in the first place. Of course, we experienced the whole perk waiting thing, and that was obviously not cool. I don't think this is the same thing, because some people have gotten their rolls, some people haven't. It's just RNG. Am I complaining about RNG? No. But again, investing your time and not being rewarded with it just completely turns off even the most seasoned players, because you're going to get to a point where you're just like, I'm done, and what's the point? And it's not rewarding once you get to that point. I won't answer the question of is it worth it, because you can make that determination for yourself. If you're someone who plays PvE a lot and you don't really think that playing that much Iron Banner is worth it, then there's your answer. If you want to just get the base version and maybe play a few matches and just try your luck each time Iron Banner rolls around, that's certainly one way to do it. But for me, I want that perfect roll. I want at least something close to it. And having, again, a lack of agency in terms of limiting the chances, right? It really sucks. So yeah, that's your seasonal Iron Banner rant. Hopefully this is something they pay at least a little bit of attention to. Again, I don't think it takes that much change, like eliminating the Glimmer for focusing the newest weapon. Of course, the old ones, you can keep that if you want. Or again, the more rank ups you have with Saladbar, because that is investing your time, the higher chance you get of getting multiple perks per that weapon, so you double your chances essentially. So yeah, that's it from me though. Let me know if you guys have gotten your rolls yet, and I'll see you in the next one.